Greetings! The video you are about to watch is not opinionated, neutral, and is neither for nor against either belligerent in the conflict. The Falkland Islands, known as the Islas Malvinas in Spanish, is an archipelago near South America, lying 300 miles northeast of the southernmost tip of the continent. The islands have a population of 3,600. Though there are many small rural farming communities in the countryside, there is only one town on the island, the capital of Stanley. Stanley has a population of around 2,000. 800 miles east of the Falklands is the island of South Georgia. The first person confirmed to set foot on the Falklands was John Strong in 1690. The Frenchman Louis-Antoine de Bougainville was the first person to settle the island in 1764. Bougainville sold the settlement to the Spanish 3 years later. The British settled West Falkland in 1765. This caused a conflict between the British and the Spanish. The British were driven off, but they returned a year later. But they withdrew again a couple of years later. In 1820, 4 years after declaring independence from Spain, Argentina declared sovereignty over the Falklands. In the 1830s, a U.S. warship destroyed the Argentine settlement. The British took over the Falklands, and by the 1880s, there was a self-supporting British community of over 1,000 people. The Falklands have a disputed history between the Argentines and the British ever since their founding, but this conflict would result in a war in the 1980s, known as the Falklands War. In 1982, Britain's Prime Minister was Margaret Thatcher and Argentina was under the military dictatorship of Leopoldo Galtieri. Galtieri entered his position, succeeding George Rafael Videla in December of 1981, during a period of poor economy and great opposition to the military government. Because of this, Galtieri decided to use military force to invade the Falkland Islands in April of 1982. Most of the people of Argentina supported this invasion because of the history of the islands. On March 19th, a group of Argentine workers on the British island of South Georgia raised the flag of Argentina, resulting in a conflict that caused the UK to mobilize naval forces. On April 2nd, Argentine forces landed on the Falklands. At that time, there was a small garrison at the capital of Stanley. The Argentine forces defeated this garrison. On April 3rd, Argentina took over the island of South Georgia. In response to this, the British government deployed a naval fleet on the 5th of April. This fleet consisted of 127 ships and submarines. The British also had 20 short-range Sea Harrier naval jets carried by 2 aircraft carriers. Argentina used their naval air force against the British, along with the submarine. On April 25th, there were over 10,000 Argentine soldiers on the Falklands, though most were conscripts. April 25th is the day the British regained control over South Georgia. On the 2nd of May, the General Belgrano, an Argentine ship, was sunk by the British HMS Conqueror, a nuclear-powered submarine. This event killed more than 300 people. 2 days later, on May 4th, the HMS Sheffield, a British ship, was destroyed by an Exocet missile from the Argentine Super Entidad strike fighter aircraft, killing 20 people. On May 21st, the British landed at Port San Carlos, where they would begin to traverse through the treacherous terrain to Stanley. Quickly after they landed, they fought an Argentine defense of 5,000 troops. The Argentines sank 7 ships, including 2 frigates, the RFA Sir Galahad, a landing ship carrying soldiers, and the SS Atlantic Convoyer. The Argentines also damaged many other ships. Around early June, British forces surrounded and blockaded Stanley. This resulted in Argentina's surrender on June 14th. In total, 907 lives were lost, with 649 Argentines, 255 British, and 3 civilians killed. The British captured around 11,400 Argentines. On the 17th of June, 3 days after he surrendered, Galtieri resigned from office. Argentina would become the democracy it is today in 1983. Galtieri was charged with incompetence in 1986 for his part in the Falkland War. Britain's success in the Falkland War would help the Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, win re-election in 1983. This war destroyed diplomatic relations between Argentina and Britain until 1990. In 2013, a referendum was held in the Falkland Islands to determine whether the island was British or Argentine. The islanders voted unanimously for the islands to be part of Britain. Goodbye and have a great day.